Over the years, people have often asked, where did this family come from? Did these people spring from the earth on a humid summer day? Did they descend from the heavens? Was it the result of a very unfortunate series of fertilizations? All very reasonable scenarios. The truth, however, lies in the latter. Although I may have had just a bit to do with this dynasty in the making, there is a man that also played a role in this little project, and I think it's best to let him tell you a bit about his own life and how this all started. After all, the Goldbergs now span continents, generations, genders. Indeed, there is not a place in our great nation where the sun does not set alongside the watchful eyes of a Goldberg. The Evanston Goldbergs, a family more knowledgeable in medical practice than Hippocrates, also famous for Italian food and slightly overweight canines. Roger, Elena, Dante, Carlo, the Luch, and Sophia. The Israelites, Shmoo, 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 and Shmuley. They come from a holy land, the Holy Land. Finally, the Moraine Goldbergs, Betsy, Daniel, Jack, Levi, Charlie, and Nate the Great. You can always rely on them to be 5 to 7 business days late on a good day. Well, to answer your question, they all come from the same place, more specifically, from one man's cojones.
And that man is me, Robert J. Goldberg, or just Bobby J. If you will, yes, you heard that right. This old pair of this right here helped create 3 kids and 11 grandchildren. 3 kids itself is enough, but then I also had the hard work of birthing 11 grandchildren. It's amazing I still have my girly figure.
Sometimes it's just all too much, and I need to take the edge off. I need a little bit of liquid courage, and not just any old beverage, but one that I personally invented, patented, and have since shared with the world. The formula is complex. It's not easy to get the proportions right, but when made correctly, there is nothing like Pellegrino and orange juice. Not only does this keep me sane,
it keeps me fueled all day. Not only does it help me with my cross-court shots, but it helps me with my killer serves. This stuff is nothing short of a miracle.
That stuff flowing through my veins, I can fake out batters all day long. The fake out pitch has never been replicated since 1972, and there are still 16-inch softball players looking for this here ball.
It's that second one that's top. I know. And that pitch was called the strike.
Oh, no. You got to be kidding me. And, of course, from the A's dugout and from the Tigers dugout, they're looking at the height.
47 home runs.
Man, do I get sore after
Back-to-back tennis, softball, and camperback football with the Goldberg Cone colleagues. It was competitive. I was a gladiator, and I'm sorry you got in my way. But to stay in peak physical shape, you gotta change things up a little. Most people say 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But my theory is that running backward works everything. Your mind, your head, your chest, and most of all, it works your
calves. And calves, which are known by many medical professionals and doctorates of law as the most critical part of the human body. And they have also told me about the potential issues of the second sweat, which is why I never go on a second run, and instead I always
hop into the shower immediately with no delay. No delay. Sometimes it's a long shower, but other times it's my famous patented in and out. You might have heard of this theory, but the in and out shower is something that I came up with a long time ago that really no one's ever thought of before, and I don't think I get enough credit for it. It's my invention. I often use the in and out shower when we're in a tremendous rush. In fact, I often shower right before we need to be in the car to go to an event. That's the most important time for an in and out shower. One more thing you need to understand about showering. Never, ever, listen closely, ever, listen, ever, never stretch your muscles in a warm shower, ever. Don't do it. It can possibly result, likely, probably, in fact, I would say my theory is it will result in torn ligaments, injury, and possibly death. We mourn our ancestors who did not know that stretching in the shower can kill.
Oh, hi there. I interrupt these Bobby J vignettes with a brief message and to let you know that I concur. Bobby J is a doctor, as he always let the guy at Comiskey Park in the parking lot know when he wanted an easy in and out parking spot. Bobby J, in a mere 3 goddamn years, learned what it took me 15 plus years to discover. Stretching in the shower is dangerous. Stretching in the shower must be avoided and can cause neurologic permanent injury. Thank you, Bobby J, for your words of wisdom in the medical field. We thank you, all of us here in the medical community. It's also important to be very careful about
your toenails. I never, ever leave the house without my toenail clipper. Even a few hours could lead to stupendous growth. You know what they say about the toenail? They're the bamboo of the foot. What happens if you're camping and you get an ingrown toenail? It could lead to infection and possibly death. I mean, just today my toenail has grown
into the perfect length of an old pipe. I mean, I would know. I'm the most knowledgeable expert when it comes to pipes this side of the Mississippi. Tootie always loves the smell of a cigar, but I prefer the smell of a pipe. Everybody thinks it was Bill Clinton who claimed that he did not inhale, but it was I who made this claim. And there's only one thing better than a good pipe, and that's
Tootie's food. Her meals are tasty, appetizing, scrumptious, delectable, mouthwatering, and fit for a king, and better than any restaurant. I don't even know why restaurants exist. It would be impossible to create anything this good in a restaurant. The frozen bread, immaculate. The brisket, they say it's an aphrodisiac. But you wouldn't call the food I eat tasteless or unpleasant when the missus isn't home, as
I'm only capable of making eggs or a delicious slice of toast straight from the freezer. It's very important to round out every meal with a little piece of toast just in case. Here's some bread facts for you. As the dough rises and proofs, carbon dioxide is formed and the dough volume increases. As the bread warms in the oven, the yeast expels carbon dioxide to form a beautiful golden loaf of bread. As it gets lathered up in butter and ingested through the mouth, the oxytocin leaves the butter and directly gets injected into the bloodstream, creating instant
happiness. Instant happiness, like I'm back swimming naked at the Standard Club with my fellow colleagues. When this water goes through all the crevices of my bare naked body, it's like a fine Pinot or a nice limoncello. And I do recognize the importance of quality exercise. But you also have to realize the importance of the
mind. Because you don't want to drown while studiously studying at Cornell University. You may be asking yourself how Bobby Goldberg became a doctor of law. Well, at Cornell, I wasn't concerned or distracted by little things like the 60s or hippies or social progress or fun. I worked hard, alone, to make sure that I would be successful and
blogging. I am the editor-in-chief, managing editor, opinion editor, features editor, social media manager for The Backstory, a political publishing by myself, Bob Goldberg. If you haven't liked or commented on the blog, that's fine. It just means that you are an idiot, or that you hate me, or worse, that you hate America. Sorry, I don't make the rules, but when I do get those likes and comments, I'll let everyone know that you are woke, and I'll celebrate by
the jitterbug. And I'm not saying that we're the best at the jitterbug, but we're up there. And when they were growing up, there was nothing better than our kids like seeing Tootie and me dancing the jitterbug. So happy birthday to me and America, unless you don't read my blog, in which case you're dead to me.